3, 2, 1, and welcome back to Secret Sex Dungeon. My name is Luke McFan. I'm the Dungeon Master here, and it's been 3 weeks. I can't believe it's been 3 weeks. It's been too long. Thanks for being patient. If anyone's here watching the game, great. We're glad to have you here, and we're really excited to dive back in, if you couldn't tell from my demeanor. We have almost a full cast on tonight. Our druid, Kelvin, our druid Thorax, played by Kelvin, is going to be missing. But we do have all the rest of the Secret Sex adventurers, and we're just pumping up to do some adventuring. When we last left off, our adventurers had left from Daggerford, and they had decided it was time to leave the town, head further south in search of more adventures. However, they had a task on the way. Our paladin Davos wanted to rest the body of Mosing, a tiefling following the light of Lathander, at Lightwatch Tower, where he was first found. Upon leaving the town with his new steed, a nightmarish-looking creature, the adventurers have headed south, making good time to the Lonesome Coach, the tavern at the wayside next to our adventuring, next to the Lightwatch Tower. Our adventurers also have trekked in the following day, set up camp within the Lightwatch Tower, and were able to bring the body into the main abbey of the temple and clear up a whole heap of things from around the room to prepare it for the ceremony that Davos has wanted to complete. So, as night sort of draws towards its end, and we have a early morning where we find both Davos and Magnus awake still from the night prior. You're both sitting about. Davos, you've seen that Magnus has been reading the entire night. Just his dancing light spell is sort of moving across the top of the page. Occasionally he'll turn towards a book that he carries with him and scroll some notes. But throughout the night, you have been focused entirely on preparing for the next day's events. So what are you currently doing?
So I've kind of finished getting things ready. So how long got till dawn? Not that long.
At this point, it's still dark. You'd say maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours until it was going to be light. So you do have a little bit.
All right. Well, okay. Well, I'm going to wake people up just before dawn to get them ready, just so the ceremony starts at dawn.
Okay. Cool.
But I go over to Magnus and ask what's he's reading. What are you reading?
A book.
Always learned. Well, it's conversation not really going anyway, but sure, I get back to my stuff. This isn't all right. So, all right, yeah, I wake people up and get people ready for the ceremony.
Good morning.
I shy away from him because I don't want anything to do with him still. I'm still pretty pissed off at him.
Fair enough.
Sure, okay.
Hi.
Okay. In that case, I gather people around very loosely in terms of gathering.
Yep.
So I start to give a kind of a ceremony.
Great. So everyone's standing around. It's still dark. The only light really emanating from the dancing lights that Magnus currently is holding onto. And he Magnus, would you be illuminating the room at this point in time?
Yeah, I'll throw some up, but one is still hovering above me in my book, and I'm not looking up.
Cool. And it kind of you see the one that's sitting above the book kind of sprouts wings occasionally and morphs back into this crow form, flying over the top of the edges of the pages, and then it turns back into a more diffuse light. But that sort of nature that you've imbued into your dancing light seems to be like, truly taking form. You cast a couple more up and are controlling the lights around the top of this area where Davos is standing over the somewhat damaged white coffin of Mosing. And he is standing looking out across everyone. The 7 of you gathered here. Thoju is kind of sitting outside currently, still asleep, and Thorax is keeping relatively close to the doorway and trying not to sort of keep Thoju out of his sort of grasp. But Davos, you can see everyone kind of wiping the sleep from their eyes and looking to you for what is going to occur.
So I stand behind Mosing, and then I talk out to the rest of the party, and I say, we're gathered here at the dawn to mourn this lost follower of Lathander. This is the right thing to do for Lathander and his followers, and I believe that Lathander himself spoke to me last night. I have been renewed in my faith and have decided to help impart the lessons from Lathander upon you all, not to convert you, but to guide you as a party. We must foster new growth and nurture growing things. And I look at Thorax for that one, because he's got a big frog.
Sure. You see him look up at you and he kind of like scratches his face for a second and he's like, and just points at the coffin, and you can see that a couple of like branches begin to sprout out. There's not like any leaves on them or anything, but they just begin to like grow out of the coffin where it was splintered.
We also must strive to perfect ourselves, and I point to Magnus, because he reads books and stuff.
Cool.
We must remember to watch each sunrise. And I look at Syl because he's all new and stuff.
Yep.
Okay.
We must remember that we should always strive for good, but not to always listen to our seniors. I look at Beck for because she's angry at people.
Yep.
And we should always fight against the evil that's in this world. I look at Chris, sorta. And we should just remember for Mosing that while he's dead,
Who's
there
Chris?
is good that's to come from this. Oh yeah. That from as Lathander teaches us, from death, life, and then I look over at Gabby.
At Bell.
I don't know, I've got a good line here somewhere. Is it just all a bunch of quotes that I'm trying to just force together?
It's good, man. I think it's lovely. You
dig
I'm
up.
feeling-
My suggestion is to dig up.
yeah. So
Sure. Anyway.
Yep.
Set your spade to up.
Okay. Yeah. So I do that.
nice. So
Um,
as Davos is saying all of these words and he's connecting, the teachings of Lathander to each of you personally, you can't help but think that the small bags that are sitting under his eyes, showing that he's been awake for the majority of the entirety of the night, have sort of troubled him and felt that there's things that he's wanted to let you know about his faith and why it's important, and he's tried to address each of you specifically about your behaviors and things like this and how they all tie into the faith of Lathander.
I look at Magnus and I roll my eyes.
I
embrace
like connect. We like eye contact, and I smirk it.
our talents for the adventures
And
that
then I remember I'm still angry at Magnus, so then I look at Ko.
Yeah, you kind of smirk at him and you're like, I'm angry at you. Great. So
Oh yeah, I'm still angry at you.
Davos, were there any sort of final words that you had before?
That was kind of my final thing there. I thought that was going to be like more impactful, but
Nice.
it's fine.
No,
I
it's good.
guess.
It's good. You finish your words, and you have this coffin in front of you inside. What are you planning to do?
I don't know how to do this.
Well, it's a burial, right?
Yeah, is there places to bury it?
Yeah, there's plenty of grass
Is there
outside.
like mausoleums?
There's no mausoleums around here, but you can see that there's like on the path up to the Light Watch Tower. You notice that there's like little sayings that have been inscribed into like small rocks along the way, and there's like you could potentially bury him somewhere along there. But that's going to be.
I've already dug that all that night.
Oh, so throughout the night you were outside digging?
Yeah.
Sure, cool. Okay. So that's going to be, yep, cool. So you just need someone to help you carry this outside, put it in the ground, and shovel it
I
forward.
look at Still, who's the most cooperative.
Is this too soon? Is this too soon to offer rain animation?
Oh, man. He can walk himself out.
He can put himself in the grave.
He just picks up the coffin and begins walking with it and takes it down into the grave. But no, we digress a little. But so Sil, you pick up the coffin with Davos and you begin walking outside. It's a relatively large weight to carry, and it takes a little while for you guys to make it down to where you were planning to put this in the ground. And you can see there's a massive mound of dirt next to the hole that Davos has dug the night previous. You go ahead and drop him next to the hole. How are you planning to put him in?
Unceremoniously?
Ceremoniously.
Oh, okay, yep. I'm following your lead. So, all right, ceremoniously. I didn't realize we treat the dead with this much respect, but cool. All right, yep.
I'm into that.
It was like them. All right.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah. So we do that.
Down he goes.
Wait, you do what?
We bury him.
Okay, cool. So you're just dropping him into the grave.
Isn't he in a corpse or something? Is he in like a coffin?
Box.
Yeah, he's in a coffin, and you've got the coffin, but you're dropping it into like a 6-foot hole, right?
No, there's a slope in it.
Oh, okay.
Come on, I don't have all the stuff.
Sure. So
we need to go around to the other side then. I didn't see the slope.
Sure,
So
cool.
should I start playing the bagpipes now?
This ain't my first corpse hole.
Is that my...
All right. See, just... All right.
Quotes from the Paladin. Anyway, so you go ahead and sure, it's been designed in a way that you can push the coffin down into the ground, and you manage to get this done, begin sort of shoveling the dirt back in, and as you do this, the sun begins to rise. And the majority of you are happy to see natural light and know that it is actually morning and not some ungodly hour. But you get this done. It begins sort of getting, to about 3/4 of an hour that these two have been shoveling with their hands, I assume, because there's no shovels that you have.
My horse helps. My horse helps by kicking some stuff in.
Sure.
I just try and kung fu the sand in there because it's what I do.
Begin
I
sort
like
of
kicking and then.
Nice. Okay. Cool. So you get it.
It's just.
I'm impressed.
Classic Miyagi.
Nice.
Yeah.
Definitely classic Miyagi. You go ahead and get that all sorted out. The coffin has taken up a little bit more room, and you've got a mound that is next to the path now. Is there anything that you're doing to signify that this is Mosings' burial spot?
There were some inscriptions somewhere. Can I just inscribe near those inscriptions?
Yeah. Do you have any kind of tools to do that? Like it's in stone.
No.
I have an immovable rod. Would that
Oh.
help?
No, I just put the old amulet on atop the grave.
Oh, that's gonna get stolen.
Nice. So you rest that there on top of the mound of dirt, and you kind of look up and realize that the sun has fully risen at this point, and that you've spent the last few hours with this ceremony, and it is complete. Upon your awaking as a group, having the ceremony finished, and Thorax and Thoju kind of beginning to stuff around, they're kind of looking a little bored. What are you all doing?
What are we doing?
Are
Good
we
question.
heading,
I'll go south.
Yeah, I believe we were on our way to somewhere.
Are
So-
we done here?
Obviously.
Like, can we go away from the light watchtower now?
Yeah, on to adventures.
Should we light
Don't listen to my
beacon?
speech at all.
Don't you light a beacon or something
I will pull
to
out my
signify
map.
stuff?
I don't know.
So yeah,
Apparently, Magnus has a map that he's
I'll
trying
get-
to.
Oh yeah, what about the map?
I'll get my
The
map
map.
out and be like, okay, guys, to get to Baldur's Gate, we'll need to pass back through the Lonesome Coach, so that should probably be our first destination.
Okay.
Great.
Okie dokie.
So you begin traveling through the woods.
To the lonesome coach.
What is the marching order as you travel through the woods?
left, right, left,
I'm
right.
in the center.
I believe there was one person who we met there who would very much know the way best of all. Perhaps a certain
A
ranger
ranger?
would go first.
Falcor, you're up.
I
I'll
think
head
Falco's
up front
wrong.
with the ranger to check for traps and to scout ahead.
Okay,
up
The
the
so
ranger.
I've got
I'm
Fal-
behind both of them, pissed off at the rest. But
Cool.
you still, so we're cool.
I've got
Oh, yay!
Yeah, I'm on my horse wherever the last gap is there.
fantastic. So I've got Falcor and Co up front, Magnus, Bell, and Syl in the center with Thoju and Thorax, and Davos, you and your steed Nefaris are at the back of the pack. Fantastic. Okay, so you begin journeying through the woods. There are plenty of animals out today. They're kind of fluttering about in the morning sun. It's still a little dark, and some of the areas that you move into, there's low mist kind of clinging to the ground. Chris, as you walk through, Falcor, as you walk through, can you go ahead and roll a perception check for me?
I am rolling deception check. Here, yeah. Shit. I mean, 9.
9.
Plus. Deception. 10.
10. Fantastic. So you see there's a whole heap of birds fluttering about through the trees. There's a couple of like frogs that you can hear nearby, and then also the sound of Thoju behind you, kind of like replying to them in this deep like, and you get like that there's a bit of call response going on there. Through the treetops, you can't really see much else, and you're walking along and you kind of stop for a second because it looks like there's a snake across the path, and then you realize that Thoju is extremely close and one of his tentacles is like sitting in front of you. It kind of gets pulled back and you continue walking through. So the only person at the moment that's kind of looking around a little strangely is Thorax. He kind of looks across the trees for a second, and then just nods. He's like, you guys continue walking. As you get to about halfway through the day, would you just be trying to like charge on through, or are you stopping for a rest, or what's the plan at the moment?
Yeah, we're pretty rested.
Cool.
Then we charge on through.
Great.
So as long as Thorax can keep up, I say we go at whatever pace we can do.
Great. So Magnus and Davos at the moment, just roll Constitution saving throws for me.
Oh, shit.
Six.
Okay.
That's a solid 6, though.
It's a very good
Wizard?
6.
So, yeah.
Can I be a wizard?
Yeah.
12 for me.
Yes.
Oh,
You're a wizard now.
Okay.
You're a wizard, Harry.
So, Magnus, you're doing fine. Davos, you're getting to a point where you definitely need to stop. You know that the morning's labor and the night of no rest are really getting to you, and you feel exhausted. There's not much that you could do to continue moving right now.
Okay. Can I have a short rest on my horse? Can I just
So
nap on the
Well, no
horse?
rest can be
horse,
done.
yeah, like horse riding isn't really a restful activity. It's kind of,
Groin
you know,
handling.
you're still kind of. Here's what I'll do: roll a animal handling check with disadvantage because you are exhausted.
you're gonna fall off your horse.
11.
Cool. You begin riding. It's going okay. You slip out of like one of the footlocks and fall off of the side of the horse, taking 2 bludgeoning damage as you kind of like hit the ground. The noose. Wait, you didn't pick up the splint mail, did you?
No, I don't have splint mail. I just got
No,
regular.
you've still just got your
chainmail.
chainmail. So the chainmail kind of pinches into your shoulder a little bit, and yeah, not so crash hot as you lay in the dirt there for a moment. Everyone kind of continues walking ahead, but you're pretty beat.
All right, I call out. We need to stop. Please.
I groan. That's my groan.
Fantastic.
Anyone doing
That's
anything?
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Charging
can we turn around and see? Because you're in the back, right?
Yeah, he's bringing up the rear
Yeah,
at the moment.
Yeah. Well, we can't really go very far without him. And clearly he's fallen off his horse. Are you alright, Davos?
I've been better.
He's inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Guys, maybe we should chill for a second. Just relax.
Can I look around and see if there's anywhere that looks like we can pull off to the side, like anywhere that would be safe, like secluded, protected, maybe like not out in the open?
You can certainly roll a perception check.
Disadvantage?
Yes, that would be correct.
You were so loaded.
One of them was a 19, but the other was a 10. So plus 1 is an 11.
Okay, you look around for a while, and there's a couple of rocks like just off the path that you could probably sit in, and it wouldn't be too bad. But